You ever think about drilling a hole in the wall and then, you can catch things people are throwing out?
No, because you could go down to the
yourself.
garbage room and find it, or just rifle through the garbage anywhere.
Oh, man.
Nobody really cares if you rifle through their garbage.
Sometimes I've been down to the basement of my building. Tim, I think there's, experiments happening down there.
Oh, I was down there. I went down too far when I was trying to leave your building one time.
Yeah.
I just went accidentally, didn't stop at the lobby. And, I heard, a whoop, 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 whoop. Yeah, something's going on down there.
They're like, we almost have it stabilized, doctor. I think the basement of my building goes under the street to the other building.
Why have we not investigated this?
Because I'm telling you, I went down there once and there were big machines
yeah, when I was down there, it was 800 degrees.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
I was if I died down here, which I might just from the heat alone, and
just throw them in one of the machines.
Yeah,
Mickey.
and the quality of air, you wouldn't know. You would have been no, he left my place at 8:30. I saw him go downstairs.
I'd be all I know is that it's especially warm right now. The heater is working overtime.
And it smells like chicken.
Which is what Tim always smelled like.
Yeah. It reminds me of my friend Tim, who always reeked of chicken.
One time, you know what, Tim? Maybe sometime we'll do a Complete Guide Investigates. We'll go down to my basement and see what's going on down there.
Oh, we have those headlamps from when we went camping.
Yeah.
Oh, this is going to be great.
And we have the sleeping bags and tents.
Well, you're thinking of camping. Do you think it's a House of Leaves
situation?
situation?
Yeah, it's a House of Leaves situation, Tim.
Wow.
We might be down there for a while.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Pack your bags, pack some beans.
That's a good way to spend the winter, I think, investigating a House of Leaves situation.
Oh, I thought you were going to say camping in the basement.
Well, that too.
Yeah. Well, one begets the other. Anyway, do you remember any Christmas in particular where you were this is what I want, and you got it? And maybe it was something you're I don't know if I'm going to get it.
No, did that ever happen to you?
That did happen to me, Tim. That happened to me in the best way possible. Oh, I thought we were going to do a flashback there. We don't have that footage. Okay. When I don't know how old were we, but I wanted a Super Nintendo.
Okay.
And it was a little while after the Super Nintendo was out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did I get a Super Nintendo? Oh, you were a weird Sega household.
I was a Sega man. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry to hear that, Tom.
Well, and the only reason I
hope things got better for your family.
Tim, over in the UK, where we've got a lot of listeners, that was a Sega place. They love Sega in the UK.
More than Nintendo?
Yeah.
What are you, nuts?
I'm not nuts.
You're pulling my leg, and I'm not going to fall for it this time, Tom.
No, you wouldn't believe the games that came out on Master System over there.
What the hell is Master
The
System?
Sega Master System.
Just call it Sega. That's what all us
No,
Nintendo
it was
kids do.
it was the precursor to the Genesis / Mega Drive, Mega Drive. But anyway, I really want a Super Nintendo because I really wanted Street Fighter 2. So
that's why you wanted a Super Nintendo?
Yeah, so I wouldn't have to go in the back of the
smoke shop.
Yeah, and play against scumbags on sticky controllers.
Yeah, there was this convenience store called the Smoke Shop.
Yeah, it sold cigarettes. It was a cigarette store.
Yeah, but it was also candy and egg sandwiches that smelled like cigarette smoke. All the scumbag kids would come to school with those egg sandwiches and be like, Jesus Christ, did they open a window in that place?
Yeah. For some reason, I think you could smoke in the smoke shop.
Yeah.
And there were just always old men at because there was kind of a place with stools where me being a businessman now, I would not be you know what I need in my convenience store is some stools to encourage degenerate old men to stay here longer.
And they had a Street Fighter 2 machine.
Yeah.
We should have called the cops on them. I had some dirt on them.
What dirt did you have on them?
There was an underage girl that was also a smoker.
Yeah.
And she would bare her breasts for free cigarettes to the scumbag workers there.
Ugh.
Yes.
Yeah, you should.
I heard about it at baseball practice from a scumbag.
Well, you didn't. Tim, that's anecdotal.
That's enough to seize the tapes, right?
I doubt they had tapes.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, for no reason other than like these tapes are going to get us in trouble.
Exactly.
Yeah, they'd have to give the cops like, here's the tape where we were robbed. Like, this is just 17 seconds of footage. Well, we had to tightly edit it because some real scummy things happened immediately before and after.
And I'm sure we weren't the only ones onto the fact that scummy things were like. I'm sure the cops were well aware. I'm sure it was worse than that. I'm sure there was a lot of drug activity there, right?
I'm sure more than anything that the cops were like, you know what, we got to keep this place going so all the degenerates have at least we can keep an eye on them all in one place.
That's true, a honeypot.
Yeah, a honeypot, and that honeypot's name is Street Fighter 2. And later, Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, I was never into the fighting game. So anyway, you got a Super Nintendo.
I got a Super Nintendo, which was like all I asked for. You know what was weird though? Or not weird, but like a little. The only bad thing, the only black mark on this whole thing was, so this was maybe like a year or two after Super Nintendo came out. So now they were selling the system instead of 2 controllers in Super Mario World, just 1 controller, no game.
What?
Yeah.
Oh man, your parents knew what to do, man.
Well, yeah. Well, but
probably save them $35.
But here's the thing: they got that, which was all I wanted, and then what I didn't ask for, and I just assumed like I would rent or something. They got me Street Fighter 2.
Oh man!
Which that game was like $80. It was a very expensive game because it was so fun. But you know what, Tim? The joke was on Nintendo and capitalism, because I was able to pick up Super Mario World at FuncoLand for like $5.
Take that, capitalism.
Because everybody
take that, free market.
Because everybody had Super Mario World, so they were looking to get rid of them. They weren't worth nothing.
Yeah, that's true.
Easy.
Good
Easy
work.
peasy.
Tom, I'd like to shake your hand. If I was at all inclined to do so, I would. Wait,
but yeah, that was my Christmas dream come true.
You have one of those stupid. Here's the thing that like unsettles me when you see videos.
Oh, and also they rented 1 or 2 games for me, because like they were like we got you the system in 1 game, but I don't know, they picked out the game, so it was like Addams Family 2.
Yeah.
Like something.
Well, they were
else.
like, you like that movie.
Yeah.
You were very excited to meet Raul Julia at that summer camp.
Yeah,
that one
exactly.
time. Yeah.
But it was fun, and it was something where I was like, you know what, I didn't think about that.
They're like, Tom's a big Raul Julia fan. Let's get him this Addams Family Values.
Well, I was like, you know, that would have never crossed my mind, like that you're like, well, we're not going to buy this kid 3 $60 games. Well, we'll rent him some because he'll get tired of that 1 game. But they didn't know that I would not get tired of Street Fighter 2. I would just play that over and over until my hands were atrophied.
Yeah. I still see the lasting effects.
Yeah, I still have Street Fighter Claw.
Let me ask you this, Tom. Mm-hmm. When you opened up that Christmas gift on Christmas morning,
I said, it's all downhill from here.
Did you have one of those freakouts that the kids have, like when you see them on America's Funniest Home Videos, where it's like, oh my God, you got me that thing, blah, 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 and you run around and it's like too much?
No, Tim, I played it cool.
Always play it cool. It worries me. Like, also, like, if I had a kid that, like, I'd be happy, like, oh, cool, I made this kid happy or whatever by buying a gift that he wanted. Mm-hmm. But, like, nobody should want anything that badly that when you get it, that's your reaction. Like,
that kid's gonna grow up to be a weirdo.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he's gonna like want things too much.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta like dial it back. Like, get that kid into transcendental meditation, man.
Yeah, he's gonna be at some white collar prison for the rest of his life because he wanted something so bad.
Either that, or he's just gonna be like the head of something, or very rich and
maybe
successful and
powerful.
Like,
you know what, I really wanted that and I got it.
Yeah,
now I'm a billionaire. So that was the gift that I got.
One time I really wanted a puppet theater and I got it.
How old were you?
I don't know, probably 6, 7.
I think you've talked about getting the puppet theater.
Yeah, it was great. It was probably one of the best investments my parents ever made. Because Tom.
Because look at you now, successful puppeteer.
They got me exactly world-renowned puppeteer.
Mm-hmm.
They got. You know what the saddest thing is?
What's that?
a puppeteer
that I could have been.
a puppeteer who doesn't work for the Muppets. No, you know what? I take that back.
I mean, there are puppeteers on Broadway.
Just I like the Muppets a lot, Tom.
What about like the Avenue Q people?
I've never heard of that.
It's a Broadway play.
Is it ribald though? I only like puppets when they're ribald.
What kind of puppeteers are you thinking of when you're talking about are you talking about like Eureka's Castle?
No, I'm thinking of like when people try to do like puppets for adults.
Oh yeah, don't do that. Come
on.
Just make it for kids, but then make it for everybody, so everybody likes it.
Exactly. Like, yeah.
And for God's sake, tell Big Bird to lend him his bus once in a while.
Give me a ride on the bus. Jesus.
Now, if you had gotten Big Bird's bus, then you might have been one of those 3-year-olds.
I would have been the dog that caught the car, Tom. I wouldn't have known what to do. The boy who caught the Big Bird bus.
Yeah. You would have been like, oh.
Yeah, I would have
this wasn't what I expected at all. That was simply a pipe dream.
I didn't really think this through. I don't know what I'm going to do with this.
I had that. I think I've talked about this, that I similarly asking parents for a toy that doesn't exist. I wanted like nothing else from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and the Island of Misfit Toys, the pink polka dot elephant from the Island of Misfit Toys.
Oh, yeah.
Which now
you can buy.
Now you can get them.
Yeah. At Comic-Con.
And
internet.
Well, and I've gotten like.
Do you want me to list other places you can find it?
No, like a few years ago, I think my parents got me like the pink polka dot elephant, like Christmas tree ornament, and I was like, oh, this is really neat, but like, I don't have a Christmas tree, and I didn't want an ornament. I wanted the stuffed pink polka dot elephant.
Yeah,
you idiots. But I remember
I'm sweating right now.
My mom told me later in life, she was like, oh God, we looked everywhere for that thing. And then like, she was like, I had resigned myself to like, I'll just find a stuffed elephant and glue some felt polka dots on it. And she's like, I can't even find a stuffed elephant.
Yeah. That's tough. And you wouldn't have wanted that because you would have been like, that's not the right thing.
That's not it. Yeah.
One time I wanted
I think they knew that they're like, well, I think the kid that doesn't allow his peas to touch the potatoes is going to be pretty particular about this not being the right elephant either.
You're a military man and you like a military meal.
Tim's quoting the Robin Williams classic Toys. LL Cool James.
Ladies love Cool James.
It's true.
Tom, were you ever into Legos?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Lego?
I was into Lego. I never really had too many. You saw the Lego movie, right?
No. I watched it on a plane, and it was so loud.
The movie?
The movie is just nonstop, like...
Yeah, it's for kids.
Yeah, I know, but not everything. You know what else was for kids? Pinwheel.
You know what else was for kids? Big Bird's Bus.
Yeah, and that thing was just a smooth ride through the countryside.
The spaceman in that Charlie Day plays.
Ah, Charlie Day's in that?
Yeah. He plays like the Lego spaceman from the 80s. I had one of those, and like I love that little Lego spaceman. But we're old enough that when we had Legos, like there weren't really sets, right? Like there were, but
like my brother would get sets.
Mm-hmm.
But they weren't like, you know, there wasn't the variety of sets that there are now.
Right.
And
or they would be not very specific. It would be like, here's a bunch of bricks and you can build 3 different things that kind of look like these pictures.
Yeah. And like my brother really seemed to be like into like I'm going to like drill down into these instructions.
He drilled through the Legos?
Exactly. Yeah. He had to he made his own Legos. He's a self-made man.
That's what that means.
He was just like, I'm gonna dive in here, and like, I was like, this just looks like a lot of freaking work, man.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? But like,
yeah, then if you get something wrong, you gotta take things apart.
Yeah, and then according to my brother, you had to go stupid, stupid, and punch yourself in the head.
Yeah, well, that's the only way he'd learn.
Yeah. So anyway, I never enjoyed the whole like, no, man, just be yourself. Let your freak flag fly and put together and build whatever you want. Like that never. Like I'd always be like, all right, I built a thing. It kind of looks like the thing that was in my head, but like There's just a bunch of square bricks. I can't really do much with them.
Yeah.
I'm going to go play with these puppets now.